Hi guys, so the blues is a very distinctive and iconic genre that relies heavily on certain cliches and well-known licks, patterns and progressions. And it's these progressions and licks that make a song sound bluesy. So to play the blues, you really need to get acquainted with and get comfortable playing all these different patterns. And so to help you with this, I've created a blues piano cheat sheet which is linked in the description below, so download yourself a copy. This cheat sheet gives you everything you need to start playing some blues piano. It covers the 12-bar blues form, left-hand patterns, different scales you can use, some licks and turnarounds that are really classically blues, and some soloing techniques, as well as an example solo at the end. So in this video, I will take you through the cheat sheet, what's on it, how to use it, and how to practice it. Now for simplicity, it is all written in the key of C, so a blues in C, so you will have to go ahead and transpose it to any other key if you're playing in a different key. So first, you'll find the 12-bar blues form at the top of page 1. Both a standard and a jazz 12-bar blues progression, where the jazz 12-bar blues takes the standard form and just adds a few chord substitutions, secondary dominants, and an obligatory 2-5. Now memorize these progressions, memorize this form. A huge proportion of blues songs, and in fact all songs really, use this form, so it'll really help you just as a musician generally if you memorize the 12-bar blues form. Next, you'll find a few classic bluesy left-hand patterns. Now take each of these patterns, and they're all written just for the chord C7, and play them all the way through the standard 12-bar blues form. For example, the first one, or the second one on the third line. Right, and learn to play the 12-bar blues form with each of these left-hand patterns, or whichever ones you want to learn and practice. And for the 2-bar left-hand patterns, you'll need to only play the first bar in the pattern whenever you have a chord change after a single bar. Now on the next page, you'll find 2 walking bass lines that outline the jazz 12-bar blues form. So when you're playing a straight ahead classic blues, use the left-hand patterns with the standard form. And when you want to play a more jazzy blues, you can use these walking bass lines, which use the jazz blues form. And ideally, you should learn both the left-hand patterns and the bass lines by heart. And if you are playing a jazzy blues, you can just alternate between the 2 different bass lines that are written out. So play first one, then the second, then the first, and the second, and so on. This will give you a bit more variety in your playing, and the audience will have forgotten the first bass line by the time you finish the second, so it'll still sound quite fresh again even when you repeat it. So that's the left hand covered. Now for the right hand. The two scales that are primarily used to improvise over a blues is the blues scale, of course, and the major blues scale, which is the blues scale of the relative minor. So in our case, we have the C blues and the C major blues, which is just the A blues scale, but starting and finishing on C. Now to practice these, you should just take a left hand pattern that you learned earlier, play it through the standard 12-bar blues form, like we just did, and use your right hand to improvise over each of these, using each scale in turn while using melodic continuity, so playing without stopping. So for example, you could use the C blues scale to play over that standard 12-bar blues progression in the left hand using swung eighth notes without stopping, so melodic continuity. And that'll sound like this. So you can practice that technique with both the blues and the major blues scale and over all the different left hand patterns, as well as the walking bass line in your left hand. And once you're comfortable with swung eighth notes, you can do the exact same thing but with triplets. So in this case, I'm gonna do melodic continuity using triplets using the C major blues scale. And again, doing that using all the different left-hand patterns in the walking bass line with both the blues and the major blues scale, but with triplets. So using melodic continuity will just force you to play and get used to the scale and get used to the fingering and getting your hand in the right spot. But once you're comfortable doing that, you should then practice playing with phrases. So play a phrase, then pause. Play a phrase, then pause, and so on. And do this while alternating between the two different scales. So play a phrase with the blues scale, then pause. Then a phrase with the major blues scale, then pause, and so on. And eventually you can combine both of these scales in a single phrase. So you kind of have a super blues scale that's a combination of both these scales. So it kind of goes C, D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, A, B flat, C. Now up until this point, we were just improvising using a single melody line with one of those blues scales. Now this is fine to begin with, but ultimately it gets a bit boring. So we can start introducing some soloing techniques to spice things up. Now the cheat sheet lists 8 such techniques, and they're all true to the bluesy style. So they are playing in octaves using drone notes, tremolos, glissando, crush notes, chromatic runs, harmonizing with thirds and sixths, and quick runs. So to practice these, I would pick one of the techniques and alternate between a single line phrase and then using that technique. For example, with octaves. Right, so one phrase using a single line improvisation, and then the next phrase using octaves, and then back to single line, then octaves, and so on. And you can do this with each of the improvisation techniques. So with drone notes, you start with a single melody line, and then the next phrase using drone notes. Or with tremolos. Or with a glissando. Right, and so on. So again, just alternating between single line and using the technique. Now, some techniques will require you to practice them slowly and then build up speed, like a tremolo. Start slow and then gradually get faster. Now, using crush notes or grace notes, chromatic runs and harmonized lines is straightforward enough, but playing quick runs may take a little bit more practice. Now, the trick with these is to get each finger into position ahead of time so that then you can just kind of roll your wrist over the notes quickly so that you land the final note either on a beat or on an off beat. But so it's kind of like, it is kind of final. You're landing it and you're sticking to the tempo, to the rhythm, to the beat. And then you can either stop there or continue the phrase normally, continue going up or down. Right, so you play a little phrase. Then you get your fingers ready over all the notes that you're going to play, and you kind of just roll your fingers or roll your wrist over those notes. Next, on page 3, you'll find 10 of my favorite blues licks. Now learn all of them by heart. Learn them slowly and then pick up speed. Now the first 4 are classic crossover licks, which is where your hand crosses over itself or over your thumb, or at the very least moves down an octave so it sounds like your hand's crossing over itself. Now to practice these, I would pick one lick and repeat it every 2 bars over the full 12-bar blues form. Right, and so on, exact same thing with all the other licks. Learn to play it slowly just with your right hand, and then learn to play it every 2 bars over the entire 12-bar blues form, so you're playing it 6 times over the form. This way, you'll learn to play each of these licks in different parts of the form, which is excellent. But then eventually, we want to learn to incorporate these licks into your soloing. So to do this, you need to alternate between playing an improvised line and then a lick. And again, practice each lick in turn, alternating between just a freely improvised line and then the lick. And again, I kind of alternated in 2-bar blocks. So a 2-bar phrase, then one of the licks, then a 2-bar phrase and the lick over the next 2 bars and so on. Just to keep it quite structured, at least to begin with. Obviously, as you practice more, you will be able to start it at different points and kind of pull it and push it and vary the lick a little bit. But to begin with, that's fine. Just sort of break the form down into chunks, into blocks, and then just improvise licks. And again, do that with all of the licks that are written out. And they're all great sounding bluesy licks. And of course, after that, you should start combining them. So, play a phrase, play one of the licks, play another phrase, play a different lick, then a third lick, and then play another improvised line, and sort of alternate between each of the licks that you've memorized and a little bit of your own free improvisation, either just using single melody lines or using those solo techniques that we learned earlier, kind of mixing them all together. Now next, at the bottom of page 3, you'll find 3 turnarounds. Now these are little licks that you play in the last 2 bars of each form. So again, memorize these, learn them off by heart, and practice inserting them at the end of each form before you repeat. So the first one is... So learn to play that little turnaround in the last 2 bars of each form. So let's play it from the G7, where you're just improvising freely, and then you go on to the new form, start again, and free improvising again. Right, so I played the G7, the F7, in the last 2 bars of the form, I played the little turnarounds, and then I repeated back to the C7, start improvising again. And practice that with all 3 turnarounds that are written out. Again, all nice bluesy turnarounds at the end of each form, and then just keep repeating and going through the cycle. And that's it. Those are the individual elements that you need to learn separately and then start combining together into a coherent bluesy solo. So the left hand just plays that left hand pattern or a bass line. The right hand combines blues scale or major blues scale improvisations with soloing techniques, licks, and turnarounds at the end of each form, all over that 12-bar blues form. And once you can do all of those things confidently and combining them quite smoothly and fluently, you'll be playing some real solid blues piano. And so on page 4 of the cheat sheet, you will find an example solo that does all of those things. Now feel free to learn it note by note, and it's written over a walking bass line, but you can play it just over a standard left hand pattern. And that's it. That is a brief summary of how to play blues piano. So make sure you download yourself a copy of the spreadsheet, and again practice all of those elements separately, nice and slowly through the 12-bar blues form before you try combining them together. And have a go at the example solo. There's another 12 bars which I've written out but I didn't play because of lack of time here as well. And good luck. Enjoy playing some bluesy blues piano. See you guys.